Good morning, everyone. This is Jen Fuentecilla, Director of Christian Education at First United Methodist Church in Chula Vista, and it's been great to chat with members of our congregation during this COVID crisis. And today I have friends here who were willing to chat with me. Please go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Jason Matias, and this is my fiance, Beatriz Mendoza.
And Jason, for you and the girls, when you were able to join us in worship, what typical worship service, which one did you usually attend?
We usually went to the 9:30. Yeah, I started at the 8 o'clock, but we went to the 9:30, and then I'd help out when I could at the 11 o'clock for the kids.
Thank you for being here, both of you, this morning. So what has life been like for you these past 8 weeks during this total change in life, during this crisis?
¿Cómo ha estado la vida para nosotros en estas 8 semanas que cómo ha cambiado las cosas? For me, it's been actually pretty cool. We've gotten to spend more time as a family. I've gotten to know, my stepchildren, which I hate even using the word stepchildren. I've gotten to know my kids a little better. And I've gotten to spend time with my partner. Believe it or not, we don't fight, none of that. Most people are going through, cabin fever. I understand couples get a little too close, but we really haven't had that problem. Estaba diciendo ¿entendiste, verdad? ¿Y tú?
Sí, también igual, mucho tiempo con los niños, mucho tiempo, todo, mucha convivencia más que nada, descubrir cosas nuevas en familia, pero bien, ahí vamos bien.
She's discovering new things about the family and the kids, a lot of the same thing, getting together and spending time together. It's just been actually kind of a blessing in disguise.
All right. And what would a typical day look like for the both of you if we weren't sheltering in place?
If we weren't sheltering in place, I'd be across the border. I'd be at home. I'd be at work. Betty is a teacher, and she teaches cosmetology, makeup, hair, barber, the whole nine. She's really well versed. And her day would involve going to school and teaching her students.
All right. And so what does a typical day look like for you both now? I know you said you're spending time with the family, and who else is sheltering in place? Are you all across the border? Are you going back and forth still? Tell us what that's like.
Yeah, we're definitely all sheltering in place. The only person that goes out is our son. He works for a local news station, Synthesis TV. So he has to go to work. Obviously, it's media, and they report. He's done some reports already on COVID-19. I cross the border every 2 weeks to pick up Isabella, and she stays 2 weeks with her mom and 2 weeks with us. But that's the only crossing I really do across the border, unless I have to pick up a package. Telework has made it that I'm home, so that makes things a lot easier for us. Daily routine: take our son to work in the morning. We get back right about this time. Then it's alone time, since the girls tend to go to sleep late now. This is our time alone, so we have breakfast. We'll watch the news and find out what's going on, and just spend a little quality time together, have coffee, our morning coffee and things like that. Day progresses once the girls start to wake up, then we'll get some food out, and kind of the whole house starts to run. Of course, I'm vigilant. I have to have my laptop on and my phone, waiting for any calls or anything. And it's just basic. I mean, at night we'll play games sometimes. It depends on the mood of the girls. We actually play more when Isabella's here than when the other girls are by themselves. They're more to themselves, and Isabella's more, hey, let's play all together. But she brings it out of everybody. She's kind of the little energy bulb in our house. She brings a lot of energy to the house. ¿Qué es tu día típico? Ya ahora que no vas a trabajar y todo está diferente.
Pues es más la atención hacia mi familia, dedicarme a limpiar, a limpiar.
It's more attention to the family and the clean. Yeah, my fiance is very protective of the house. We have, you know, some really tight routines, especially since our son goes out. About cleaning, she's always bleaching our floors at least twice a day. When he comes, we have a garage attached to the house, so he comes in through the garage and has to take off all the clothes he's used during the day. We have special bins for that, and then we spray shoes that they're thrown into bins, and we're very careful, wash his clothes immediately, all the normal routines that they're telling people to watch. And for me, it's important because on top of having to be home, I'm one of the people with underlying conditions, so I have to be extra careful.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So, what has been most challenging during this time? And also, what has given you both hope?
Ha sido más difícil y también que lo que te das a sentir mejor o que sabes que va a salir bien.
Lo más difícil yo creo que es el tiempo en el que no tenemos nada que hacer. Buscamos siempre algo, la manera de hacer algo, pero siempre nos queda mucho tiempo, entonces ahí es donde vienen malos pensamientos, nerviosismo, pero dentro de los momentos en los que siempre tenemos algo que hacer, pues eso lo tomamos como bueno.
The hardest thing has been trying to keep busy more than anything else. It's good for us to keep busy because when you have that downtime, that's when you start to think about things that make you nervous and can, you know, lead you down the wrong way. So she's more than happy when we have more things to do than less, because when we're not moving around, it's scary. And for us, it's been a challenge. It really has, for me particularly. When COVID-19 started, I was more nervous than most folks because my entire family is in all the heavily affected areas, and it has touched our family. My grandmother passed away. My niece now has COVID-19. My sister also has COVID. They're okay. Thank God it didn't happen as far as how my grandmother, but they're okay. We're monitoring the situation. We talk to them every couple of days. My family over there is making sure that food is delivered to them because they are in quarantine. They're not allowed to leave their home. And the only concerns we have, or all together as a group, is my sister's husband. His mom lives with them, and they're concerned about keeping absolute no contact with her inside the house, sheltering her in her room. You know, and that kind of feels bad. She's a very family person. So those are our bigger concerns. But as far as hope, you know, staying together as a family and just not letting so much of what's going on out there scare you. It is really intense. I know there are a lot of things happening, new developments every day, the things with the kids and stuff like that. And that for any parent is even worse, you know, but understand if you're taking care of yourself at home, if you're keeping your faith, you know, that kind of helps your days. I think people can find a little more happiness, a little more calm, and recognizing that they're safe when they're home, you know, and just take some time to, you know, remember this guy upstairs, he's keeping you safe, you know, as long as you do the right thing.
Continued prayers for your family. Obviously, they've been very affected by this pandemic, and our condolences on the loss of your grandmother.
Thank you. Thank you.
Anything you'd like to share with our congregation at this time, or anything you'd like to lift up in prayer?
Well, of course, not just my family, but lift up all the families out there, especially on the East Coast where they've been hit the hardest. You know, Dave Balk did the interview with you, I remember. And Dave was talking about the scale between 1 to 10. You know, as much as I'm concerned about my family, I can say I'm at a 5 or a 4, but there are people that are there and they're at a 10 plus, you know, and I'd like to see that we pray and take our time to care for them in our thoughts. Obviously, taking care of everyone out there, the grocery store workers, garbage men, the people running restaurants and setting up takeout for most folks, nurses, doctors, police officers, IT guys. We're the forgotten guys in the war, but not a lot of us have to go out, which thank God. You know, it's a scary time, but we need to pray for people to have peace. Over here, being in Tijuana, there's a different aspect. We're very blessed in the United States that we have all kinds of unemployment insurances, we have stimulus, we have different things that can help us in this crisis. Here they don't have it. So the families that have to shelter in place are literally living beyond poverty levels. And it's really sad. So definitely, more than anything, send some prayers for those families because they need help. And it's tough to shelter in place when you're living day by day. Que si tienes algunas peticiones o algo que decir, que si por favor pueden orar por esto, o por tu familia, por lo que sea.
Más que nada para la gente que tenga conciencia, que siga las medidas de seguridad que se están pidiendo, que cumplan con ellas, para que todo esto sea más rápido, salgamos de esto con bien y más pronto. Más que nada hacer entender a la gente, mucha gente que no entiende. Y pues es preocupación para todos, para todos. A mí me preocupa mucho que la gente ande en la calle sin ninguna protección cuando nosotros tomamos las medidas al 200%. Y vemos cómo hasta niños andan en la calle sin protegerse. Entonces sí me preocupa mucho que la gente no esté tomando conciencia de eso. Y sí, yo sí pediría para que la gente pueda entender y seguir las indicaciones.
She definitely wants to pray for people to be more conscious, to realize that they need to take the protections, that yes, it's important to stay home. She knows that it's important to have protections, and there are a lot of families that still are just walking on streets with their kids without masks and different things like that. Over here, it's a little different. It's changed quite a bit, but she wants to, hope that people take it a bit more seriously and understand, that something bad can happen. She says, we're very blessed that we take care of ourselves 200% more than anybody else, but she hopes and prays that people will do the same for themselves. She wants people to do the same.
And finally, some things changed for you as far as plans in August, huh?
Yeah. Unfortunately, yes. With everything going on, it does not make sense to try and throw together a wedding or that many people even that close. I mean, August seems like it's far away, but at the rate that we're having to keep certain areas closed, it's probably a smarter move not to endanger people. This is an event that can happen at any time. Our love isn't going anywhere. We're doing okay. Everything's going to be fine. We'll just have to set a new date and work from there. And when we do, you'll be there. I know that. you're on the list. So
we look forward to the day that we can all gather for many things, and especially for your wedding.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And please, I have to remember, because we talk about you, and I always tell her, and she loves the same thing that I do, that your hubby's name is Amor. So tell Amor that we said hi, and the kids, of course,
Thank you. I will. Yes, we are all doing our best as well. We're all home, and working, distance learning, the dog's home. So moments that are definitely challenging, but counting our blessings and doing our best to stay healthy.
Oh, good. That's the way it should be. That's all we need to do is just patience.
Yes. Well,
My
thank
mother,
you so much.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I said my mom, when I was a kid, used to say this phrase that used to drive me nuts. And until I got older, was when I finally understood it. Patience is a virtue.
Yeah.
And right now, we all need it.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Well, muchas gracias, Betty.
Sí, por nada, gusto saludarla.
Thank you both so much. I hope you have a beautiful day.
Thank you, you
Gracias,
too.
igualmente.
God bless you.
Adios.
Bye.
Bye.